In this video, I want to go over the complex plane. The complex plane is a way of graphing complex numbers. For anybody who doesn't know, complex numbers are when you add an imaginary number to a real number. It can be both add or subtract. So this entire expression would be a complex number. 2i plus 5 is a complex number. So uh, it should be simple how a graph works. When you graph, say 2, comma 6, you first graph the 2, which is in the x-axis, and 6, which is in the y-axis. So 2 comma 6 would be right here. Pretty simple. On a complex plane, though, the x-axis always remains real numbers, just like the normal one, but the y-axis is now only for imaginary numbers. So instead of this representing 2, this would represent 2i, this would represent 4i, 6i, 8i, and so on and so forth. So if we were to graph 2i plus 5, we'd first graph the 2i, which right here, and then plus 5, which is in the middle of 4 and 6. So 2i plus 5 would be graphed right there. With this, you could also, say, graph 3i my 3 minus, say, 7i. Already graph this. This would be first 3 in the real axis and negative 7i on the complex axis. So that'd be right here in the middle of that square. So 3 minus 7i is a complex number right in the middle of that square. With complex plane, you can graph any complex numbers. And if you had a normal plane, then where would you graph minus 7i? Where would you even graph I? Because a normal plane is only meant to deal with real numbers, and the square root of 1, the square root of negative 1, is not a thing in real numbers. You can't square any negative numbers when you're dealing with real numbers. So this is where the complex plane comes into use. This was how to graph stuff using the complex plane.